finance, a la shmup. What is a corporate raider? Well, here's an Oakland raider, and here's a corporate raider. And yeah, eerily similar in that pirate vibe, huh? Why? Well, a corporate raider is more or less what Gordon Gekko did if you saw the original Wall Street. And other than, the insider information he gleaned courtesy of Denise Richards' ex, well, corporate raiding is actually legal. So what happens in a corporate raid? Well, the raider becomes a dissident shareholder, buying enough of a stake in the company to vote herself or her representatives seats on the board of directors. Remember, common shareholders elect the board hires the CEO and fires the CEO and, helps to set a lot of policy, sort of like my aunt at the dentist. Yeah, that's what she does. So what's raiding? Well, a company might have a fully funded pension fund, responsible financials, which now the company will be, quote, punished for, unquote. Well, that pension can serve as collateral for the company to borrow against to do stuff. Like buy back its own stock, maybe. Yeah, or buy a competitor. Or pay a big fat dividend, whether it really needs to or not. Well, in this case, the company is raiding their pension fund to pay for all this junk. Like, when you bust into your savings to buy Beyonce tickets. Well, raiding can also mean that the new board, either with this regretful help of the old CEO or with the help of a newly recruited CEO, sells off parts of itself. Short-term profits and the stock pops and then the company dies. Yeah, that's the fear anyway. Well, many conglomerates have dozens of divisions, like think GE, each of which do business with, one another over time. But at any given moment in time, one division might be in favor and it would sell for a high multiple at auction among competitors. So maybe the raider puts that division on eBay and gets a bunch of cash for it. And yes, then it pays taxes on it too, but we'll get to that later. There are usually many things that companies can do in this vein of short-term greed, which according to Gordon is good, to goose their stock price. And yes, that only happens in the short term, only to find that the next business cycle, well, they're woefully unprepared to fight the fight, and they end up just kind of anemic. And yeah, that's the problem. By the time that next cycle comes around and the tide goes out, well, the raider pirates have sold their shares and have gone on to go attack some other company, having, just kind of moved on. They watched it rise and then they sold and that's it. They don't have to stick around to run the company, sell their shares they've never heard from again, take their profits and do damage elsewhere. Yeah, so it's painful. But in practice, corporate raiding generally only happens to companies who have stumbled and can't really defend themselves. You're not going to get a whole lot of corporate raiding at Amazon or Google or Facebook because the companies are doing really well, and anyone who came in to try to buy their stock and be hostile with the board would be shown the door there real quick. Yeah, but in the case of companies like GE and, you saw what happened to Sears and Toys R Us and soon Target and a few others who are all stumbling. Yeah, well, then they get raided. The company slowly drowns in its now raided and or weakened condition. And, there's dinner coming there for you there, Sharky.